Hey everyone, I'm back. And before we talk about the Hammond rework, or I think they're avoiding calling it a rework, I do want to say about my last video, it was pretty awesome. I think that's almost literally the first time such a controversial topic like that was, that I've been part of online was entirely productive and nobody was toxic, like at all. I was actually very surprised. But I guess it just kind of goes to show, you know, the type of community we're building over here. But yeah, everybody was super like productive. They respectfully disagreed. They were like intellectual. Like it was like actual discussion, not just kind of internet hate. So yeah, that was awesome, guys. Thank you, everyone. And even the people who disagreed with me, it was more of the lines of, I don't think you're being malicious, but here's why I think you're wrong, which is the entire point of the video, right? It wasn't to convince anybody. It was just to say, hey, it's not always malicious. Sometimes it's just a disagreement or something like that. So yeah, thanks everybody. One thing that did stick out to me is I do feel like Strawberry Gems 2020, I really feel like I let you down. Like you were really talking, you're like giving your points. It was a great, back and forth conversation. But yeah, when I was replying, I was like, oh man, you've been watching my videos for like over a year. I really hope I'm not disappointing you, which I'm sure I did. But yeah, I do appreciate all the other conversations we've had, not, pertaining to all that type of stuff. So yeah. Anyways, let's talk about the changes they announced. I do want to talk about Venture before we get into the Hammond stuff, and mainly because they said that they don't think Venture is going to get significant nerfs, and honestly, I don't know if that's a good idea. I do think Venture is extremely powerful under the right hands. She has a really, really high skill ceiling, but a skill ceiling that's very attainable, right? And maybe this is me saying it because, I was a Doomfist main when he was DPS, and they play very similarly. But there's just so much that she can do that I think that some things need to be reined in a bit, right? The combos are almost infinite. Like if you really know what you're doing, like you can drop the cooldown for, was it her little drill thing, by like half if you go underground, and the ability to drill in any direction, and how like jumping out of the ground does so much damage. Like it does a surprising amount of damage. It's like almost 100, I think, and it's a pretty wide area. I think the combo potential is a bit high, like really, really high. And the ultimate also is very powerful. So I don't know exactly what I would nerf if I were to nerf it, but it would be many more restrictions on just the potential of combos. Maybe the damage that's inflicted when she jumps out of the ground, but other than that, I don't know. Even the melee's like very strong. So yeah, maybe. Ooh, I don't like nerfing characters though. Maybe I'll make a how to fix video on Venture, but we'll see. But anyways, now for the main event, Wrecking Ball. And well, it looks like Blizzard has been watching my how to fix videos, because I've had two how to fix Wrecking Ball videos in the past. One that just focused on his grappling hook. I think he should have a retraction mechanic. A retraction mechanic would help him bring down the skill floor. And let me explain. When let's say he's using his grappling hook onto a wall or something, he will be able to retract himself into the wall in a straight line with a push of a button. This will make it a bit easier for him to get back with his team. Anyone in the way would be, pushed out of the way for the 50 damages he does now. Well, maybe 35, because it's like so easy. It's because it's like such a simple move, and he can hit multiple people. So yeah, if they get in the way. But if a person can't swing into a meaningful place, they can just use this to reposition or get back some value. The mobility would also allow for high skill moves, decent skill floor, and high skill ceiling. And the other one that focused on his overall kit. But yeah, so anyways, the numbers will be, if your hook shot is active for less than a second, the cooldown is 3 seconds. If it's more than 1 second but less than 2, the cooldown is 4.5 seconds. And if it's for more than 2 seconds, the cooldown is 6 seconds. This will reward the people who take the time to get good, and will increase the skill ceiling. but also give more opportunity for people to do what they're trying to do, which will lower the skill floor. It's something beginners can also learn to use quickly. So I think this will be a good way for people of a lower skill to really get into more skillful play and kind of, making more deliberate movements. And one of the big things that I had implemented in the in the grappling hook video is that I wanted a retractable a retractable grapple hook system, right, where he can just latch onto a wall and then just pull himself in that direction, kind of like a yo-yo. And the reason I had suggested that was because Wrecking Ball's problem is that his skill ceiling is, his skill floor is super high and his skill ceiling is even higher. He is a very difficult character to play, but also if you're really good at him, you're just kind of unreasonably destroying everybody. So the reason I had implemented the grapple hook system was because it's an easy thing you can do. So it brings down the skill floor. Like a lot of people, they can't really roll into the enemy team right. They can't really aim his trajectory that well, and just a whole bunch of stuff. So this would allow him to do some really easy things and be effective with something that's not too difficult to do. The other reason why I put it in was because it would also, I'll probably put the clip in here somewhere, but it will also allow him to kind of do some movement ability and then be able to pull himself back into the fight so he can be with his teammates. So yes, Blizzard, I want my royalty check. The other thing I had done is I brought down his cooldown. I forgot exactly what it was, but I know in one version I brought it down to 0, which was a little crazy. But the other one, it was like the more things you do successfully, the shorter your cooldown is. I'll probably post that video in here too. And they did say they're going to be bringing down the cooldown for his grapple hook. And again, my reason for this was because I wanted to give more opportunity for the player to do the things they're trying to do, because it's hard to play Hammond. So if he's able to grapple more, he'll have more opportunities to get it right. So those are two things that would bring down his skill floor into like something that's reasonable, right? He's a very difficult character to play. The other thing they decided to give him was they said that his adaptive shield, now he can pass it on to his teammates so they can get 75 overhealth. We'll see. that is not something I thought of before, and I don't know. It's kind of following that whole Malga gameplay style. Not just Malga, but Roadhog, when they had that experimental mode in Overwatch 1, where they were essentially healing their teammates, and this is some form of pseudo healing. So yeah, it's those brawler characters, right? If they can't protect the team, it looks like they just heal their team, right? Whether it's Junker Queen, Malga, Wrecking Ball now, and I guess not Hog, unless you're Hog from the experimental that I just said. Generally, and I think all of us are a bit weary of abilities that increase HP, especially since what we've all just kind of been through with support characters. So we'll see. Well, again, Blizzard has been knocking it out of the park recently, so I'm gonna see what it's gonna be like. But I trust them a bit more now, so yeah, let's give him a chance. And I guess this would incentivize him to play with his team more. So that's one of the big complaints about Wrecking Ball. He just kind of does his own thing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I do think there are other things that need to be fixed on Wrecking Ball, and I guess this isn't a how to fix video, but just to list them off real quick, I think he's way too survivable. Like, he has way too much survivability. And I guess maybe passing on his overhealth to his teammates will make him less survivable. So maybe that's a solution to it. But I think overall, his adaptive shields need to be reduced by 100. He's so fast and he has so much HP. Like, the only downside to him is that he's super awkward to play. But he just, again, the specific things that describe a tank is, damage prevention, sustainability, and CC. And and his mobility is his damage prevention, Arcus damage mitigation. His adaptive shield is his survivability, and he has so much CC. He kind of has a max on all of those things. But again, he's just super hard to play. So yeah, I think they need to reduce his HP just overall. Another thing is I think he's very weak to CC, a little bit unreasonably weak to CC, like getting hacked or like a Junkrat trap or things like that. Yeah, I think he's more weak to it than any other tank besides maybe a Reinhardt. So maybe something needs to be looked at there, or maybe not, because again, he has, I don't know. It's a problem with Overwatch, right? Where it's like this weird all or nothing system they've kind of developed over the years, right? He's either too survivable or he's too weak to CC, instead of like a good middle ground where he's decently survivable and CC doesn't completely like put him into the ground. There needs to be something there, and I'm not entirely sure what that is, because his whole thing is his speed, and CC destroys his speed. So yeah, I don't know, too much of both of those things. And I don't know, his ultimate, I think his ultimate's fine. I do like that Doomfist gets to essentially cancel his entire ultimate with one move, his Seismic Slime. Seismic Slime destroys the entire ultimate like in one go, which is funny. So yeah. So yeah, I think that's everything I have to say for this video. It's pretty quick. I just saw the news, so I decided to make this video real quick. I think they're gonna have a, what do you call that? Another dev blog update tomorrow, so stay tuned for that video. So yeah, leave a comment in the comment section, like and subscribe, and don't forget, I love you. And also don't forget, I wrote a high fantasy young adult fantasy book, so if you guys are interested in it, the link's gonna be in the description. All right, goodbye everybody. Here's the ad. Konfaga, Roots of a Very Old Tree, a high fantasy young adult book with a modern take on African mythology. After a mysterious confrontation with his father at school, Marcus Jobda finds himself in the land of Kara. With a small band of determined adventurers and a robust magic system he must quickly learn, Marcus begins his search for his family, a way home, and simultaneously tries to discover the mystery of the disappearances. From escaping Mamiwara and preventing wars between kingdoms, he'll need every edge his wits can give him to see the next day. However, the more he learns, the less things appear as they seem. But does he really want to go back to his old life? With hundreds of illustrations filled with clues of the history of the world, join Marcus as he attempts to solve this mystery. Konfaga, Roots of a Very Old Tree is available now on Amazon. Link in the description.